Dead men tell no tales, but their ships speak volumes. Welcome to the Cursed Compass, where we explore the darkest maritime mysteries. In 1840, the whaling ship Hope navigated the freezing waters of the Drake Channel near Antarctica when its crew spotted a small schooner drifting among the icebergs. The ship was the Jenny. When the captain of the Hope boarded the silent vessel, he found the crew still at their posts, completely frozen like statues. Below deck, the captain sat at his desk, perfectly preserved in the ice, with a pen still in his hand. The logbook in front of him held his final entry, dated May 4, 1823, 17 years earlier. He had recorded that his men had survived for 71 days without food before the cold finally claimed them. While the Jenny might sound like a maritime legend, it introduces a very real and documented phenomenon. Out on the open water, there is a class of vessels known as ghost ships. These are boats discovered adrift, fully intact and operational, but entirely missing their human crews. Take the Mary Celeste, a brigantine found floating in the Atlantic in 1872. A boarding party discovered the ship in excellent condition, with its cargo and food supplies completely untouched. But the 10 people on board, along with a single lifeboat, were gone, leaving no indication of why they abandoned a perfectly safe ship. When a ship is found like this, it strips away the illusion that we are in charge. The sea creates a psychological vacuum, erasing the human element in an instant, while leaving the vessel behind to drift blindly, a harsh reminder of our total lack of control. The violent mechanics of the ocean are most concentrated in the Drake Passage, the waterway connecting the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Squeezed between South America and Antarctica, ocean currents rush through this narrow gap at up to 150 million cubic meters per second. Without any land masses to slow them down, the winds whip into a frenzy, driving huge rogue waves that crash against hidden underwater mountains. This photograph shows Sir Ernest Shackleton, the man who led the Imperial Transantarctic Expedition into these extreme conditions. In 1915, his plan to cross Antarctica was cut short when those environmental variables turned against him and his crew. As you can see in this archival image, Shackleton's ship, the Endurance, was no match for the sheer physical force of the environment. The heavy pack ice completely immobilized the wooden wreck, trapping it for months before the immense pressure ultimately crushed the hull and sent it thousands of feet to the ocean floor. But geography isn't always the culprit. Other shipwrecks are the results of decisions made long before a vessel ever leaves the dock, where logistical shortcuts and lapses in judgment collide. This illustration shows the sinking of the SS Princess Alice in 1878. The paddle steamer was carrying nearly 1,000 passengers, mostly working-class families on a day trip, when it collided with the much larger Bywell Castle. The steamer was operating at full capacity, without an official passenger list, and at the moment of impact, the captain was using an inexperienced steerer to navigate a difficult stretch of the Thames flooded with untreated sewage. Whether it is a wooden ship caught in polar ice or a passenger ferry steered into the path of a heavy collier, these disasters reveal the fatal limits of human engineering when matched against the sea's variables. Over decades and centuries, the ocean reclaims these wrecks, transforming them into historical time capsules. In 1900, a group of Greek sponge divers taking shelter from a storm discovered a trading ship dating back to the 1st century BCE, resting on the seafloor near the island of Antikythera. They found the artifact shown here, the Antikythera mechanism. Underneath the corrosion, researchers discovered interlocking bronze gears operating as an ancient analog computer. Their precise arrangement predicted solar and lunar eclipses, proving 1st century technology was far beyond what previous archaeological evidence suggested. But the ocean doesn't preserve everything. Take a look at this photograph of the pristine Titanic during its brief time at sea. With its 4 massive funnels and steel construction, it represented the height of modern industrial ambition. Yet today, the ocean is actively consuming it. Deep underwater, a specific strain of metal-eating bacteria, Halomonas titanica, has colonized the wreck. These microbes thrive in extreme salt and pressure, systematically chewing through the iron hull and converting the heavy steel into fragile, icicle-like formations called rusticles. The ocean works as a selective archive. It can act as a vault for a 2,000-year-old bronze mechanism, while simultaneously fueling a biological process that dismantles our modern steel hulls bit by bit. Ultimately, the water dictates what survives and what vanishes, and the ocean's reach doesn't stop at the shoreline. This aerial photograph shows a rusted hull swallowed by Namibia's Skeleton Coast dunes. Over decades, shifting sands and currents have moved the shoreline, proving the ocean's physical power extends onto dry land. Which brings us back to the captain of the Jenny, frozen at his desk with his pen in hand. His final log entry stands as a stark metaphor for human vulnerability when exposed to absolute elemental power. Every shipwreck we find, whether crushed under polar ice, swallowed by desert sand, or drifting as a ghost ship, is a monument to human ambition, paused indefinitely. In our relentless pursuit to map, cross, and conquer the globe, we leave thousands of vessels behind. The ocean remains the keeper of all those secrets, an environment we can navigate